Hey, hello, hello. Welcome. As people are rolling in. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, we are gonna jump right into it for the interest of time. So, welcome to our first, hopefully, annual virtual open doors event here at Gilda's Toronto today on this World Cancer Day. My name is Gloria Lausch. I'm the virtual program coordinator here at Gilda's Toronto. I'm going to be behind the scenes as we go through this day with all of our many blocks and sessions that we have. First and foremost for this 10 a.m. session is an introduction and welcome session, which you can see here on the schedule. I'll share more about the schedule at the end as well. Don't need to take any quick notes right away, don't worry. This session is being recorded. You may have heard the voice pop up when you joined our Zoom meeting today, but don't worry, you are not being recorded. You cannot be seen on the recording. You cannot be heard on the recording. It's just the main presenters that will be recorded and anything that you see and hear on screen. So if you're here for the info session, which I'm assuming you are, you don't need to take any crazy wild notes. You're going to get a recording of this session in a nice little YouTube link for your convenience after the fact. So if you're watching this from the future, hello from the past. One button that I really need you to know about though, at the bottom of your Zoom screen, cute little chat bubbles, it says chat over there. At any point throughout this presentation, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, technical support, whatever you need, pop it in the chat box and I'll be monitoring that throughout this whole presentation. Keeping up with you there. Please do keep your microphones off because this is a normal Zoom meeting. It's not like the webinar style that we usually do with our education sessions here at Gilda's Toronto, just so that the presenter's voice is the one that we're really hearing and there's no background distractions or anything like that. Other than that, at any point in time before, during, after, you can reach us at program@gildasclubtoronto.org. We are always monitoring that inbox. If you have any questions, even if you are not currently a member, that's the place to go, and we are more than happy to direct you to the most appropriate resources. But without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to our wonderful Executive Director, Elizabeth, who will be guiding us through this hour together.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. It's great to see you here. Thank you so much for sharing this time together to learn a little bit about Gilda's Toronto. I'm Elizabeth Dalgleish, and I am the Executive Director of Gilda's Toronto. I've been here for about 6 years now, and I have learned so much, and I'm really excited to be able to share all that knowledge with you and hopefully learn some more today. So I'm just going to share my screen with you and talk a little bit about Gilda's Toronto. So I think that, we all know how complex cancer is. But at Gilda's Toronto, our philosophy is simple. We believe everyone living with cancer should have a welcoming, supportive, and inclusive community to rely on throughout their unique emotional journey. Our goal is to ensure that all those affected by cancer receive a highly individualized, no-cost psychosocial support experience. And as a result of our time together this morning, I really hope that you're going to understand the scope of innovation, the comprehensive psychosocial cancer support we provide, and how we create community together at Gilda's Toronto, and how even you can get involved to help make us an even greater organization to impact those living with cancer-related stress. So Gilda's Toronto is named after the legacy of the great comedian Gilda Radner. She was the very first cast member selected for Saturday Night Live. She has a rich history as a Torontonian, where she lived and worked for many years at Second City. And unfortunately, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 1986. And at that time, she quickly understood the importance of social and emotional support in conjunction with her medical treatment and care. And so we're named for her. We are also part of an organization called the Cancer Support Community, which is an international organization, and we are one of two affiliate members of that organization here in Canada, both in Ontario. So Gilda's Toronto obviously is here in Southern Ontario, and we have a partner, Simcoe Muskoka, Gilda's Toronto, Simcoe Muskoka in Barrie. So for us in Toronto, we have quite a wide scope of service area. But really, because our support services are virtual, we can serve anyone who is a resident in Ontario. Now, whether or not you've received a cancer diagnosis or you're a member of someone's personal care team, at Gilda's Toronto, we are passionate about providing you with emotional support that is sometimes overlooked during your cancer treatment. This support can mean the difference between dread and hope, loneliness and belonging, isolation and connectedness. It's the heart of our mission. And we want to make certain that everyone in our community has access to that support. And I'm hitting the wrong things right here. Here we go. Including serving children and teens, the children and teens of those living with cancer, so that everyone can feel a measure of relief, reassurance, and togetherness every day. So I wanted to talk a little bit about those that we serve here. As I mentioned, children and teens. We support the caregivers of the person with the cancer diagnosis, as well as the person with the cancer diagnosis. We also support people who have lost someone to a death from cancer, a family member or a friend. We opened our doors in 2001, and since then, we have uplifted and strengthened thousands of people impacted by cancer by providing that support I've been talking about, fostering compassionate communities, and breaking down barriers to care. Now, becoming a member of Gilda's Toronto is really simple and completely free. Membership, as I said, is open to Ontario residents who are living with cancer. Or, as I said, you can be a caregiver, a family member, and that includes children and youth. And referrals can be made from your healthcare provider, or you can self-refer. So you can simply come to our website, and I'll show you the website at the end of the presentation. And then on the top of your page, on every page of our website, here it says Get Support. And so you can simply click on that, and you can click on Become a Member, and it will take you to this screen. And as you scroll down this screen, you will see the different options for you. You can find the appropriate situation, and then you can click on View, and then you can fill out a form and start the process of becoming a member at Gilda's Toronto. Now, we offer a very unique personalized services, and that unique program plan that you can access is determined through taking a survey called the Cancer Support Source. This is a screening survey, and it's unique and proprietary to the cancer support community and Gilda's Club International, so the broader organization that we are a part of. And it identifies really the important concerns across key areas of a patient's life, and it screens people for risk of depression as well, depression and anxiety. This is a validated and evidence-based cancer distress screening program, and it integrates the screening, the referral to programs, so there's your personalized plan, and then the follow-up care. And once you become a member, you also are able to log in and manage all of the programs and resources that you want to attend on a regular basis. We'll talk about those programs shortly. First, I wanted to just quickly share that as a result of the cancer support source and this distress screening, over the last year, I've just had a look at sort of the top three stressors that members have experienced. And I wanted to share that with you today so that you can get a sense of what this survey really tells you as a patient or a caregiver, because those are the two groups of people that are able to access our cancer support source. So when we think about sort of the top three standards for members, so people with a cancer diagnosis, they expressed the following concerns as experiencing them moderately to very seriously. So the top concern for people who have taken the survey in our services in the last year was worrying about the future and what lies ahead. Then the next highest concern was making treatment decisions, and we have a program for that. Um, uh, Also, the third highest concern for people who did this survey was intimacy, sexual function, and fertility. So you can see those are some of the concerns that are affecting quite a few people who come to us as patients. For caregivers, they're a little bit different. The top concern for caregivers was feeling nervous or afraid. The next was changes or disruptions in work or school or home life. And finally, the third top concern was feeling sad or depressed. So very different concerns for the patient compared to the caregiver. So we wanted to share a little bit about our programs and give you a bit of an overview. That thorough screening that I've just described distinguishes between sort of the different mental and physical health concerns that you might be experiencing as a patient or a caregiver. And that screening enables us to provide you with a truly tailored and individualized support plan. We're able to guide you through and towards the most relevant mind-body programs and activities that we provide, where you can choose your own personalized options. Our therapeutic programs and services are evidence-based, and they're delivered by licensed mental health professionals. So we offer support groups. We offer them a wide variety of support groups, mostly for adults, but we serve adults living with cancer. We have advanced cancer support groups. We have parent and guardian support groups for parents who have a pediatric diagnosis in their family. We offer support groups directly for teens, teens who are living with a cancer diagnosis in their family, like usually a parent, but also for teens who have lost someone to cancer. So you can see a variety of support groups. We also offer healthy lifestyle activities like yoga, mindfulness, therapeutic practices like Reiki and mitzvah technique, and there's many, many others. We also offer education. So we have different workshops that are facilitated by industry professionals and experts, and we cover topics like cancer nutrition and wellness, survivorship, cancer and pain. So we talk about issues that are really relevant to the members and the people that we're serving. We also offer programs that help build social connection. So we have events like a comedy night. We also do workshops for families and children. And we have other interactive virtual experiences. Also here, you can see we have a wide variety of resources and referrals that we provide to people. We do one-on-one support programs as well, where we have a parent support program that's one-on-one called Careful Steps. And as I mentioned before, one of the top concerns for patients is treatment decision making. And we have an incredible program called Prep Talk that is also one-on-one for to help identify the questions and concerns that a person might have before going to meet with their healthcare provider so that they can plan and prepare for that meeting and use that short time very effectively. And I think what's incredible about that prep talk session is, sometimes you can uncover concerns that you didn't know you have, and that you can articulate those concerns in a way that you didn't even realize was happening. So it's quite an incredible and powerful tool for patients and for caregivers. We do have the entire program schedule you can view on our website, and you can see the calendar of activities, and you can also see the details for each program that we provide on our website. The majority of our programs are offered virtually. So for those who prefer, a flexible opportunity to, engage in these programs from the comfort of your home, our virtual programs really are supportive. And there have been studies that have shown just how much these improve people's access to programming. Obviously, we have a broader geographical reach that support, people with these virtual programs, but also we go through a process where we make sure that you, while engaging online, feel really as safe as possible, that we require and ask for consent through your membership process. We have very stringent protocols that we put in place to make sure that everyone feels safe, and so that we can reduce barriers to engaging in our programs. We also create an environment where people can build relationships with one another. I think oftentimes we feel like engaging in an online environment in a support group setting can be alienating. But we have found, and I'll share some testimonials with you later, that, the way that we have structured our programs actually is very inclusive and does create an environment where people can share their experiences with one another and start to build relationships. And that is the start of building that community experience. And many of our support groups do lead to group members connecting beyond the support group experience. Our support groups take place 3 times a year and are 8 weeks in length. And so, obviously you build those connections, and then you go off and can, reconnect with people beyond. So Gilda's Toronto is really just the starting point to start to build that community of support around you. So as I promised, some testimonials, and this is probably a little bit small for you, so I am gonna just read. I wanted to read this testimonial first. Gilda's Toronto is a lifesaver when you're going through cancer, and it's a gift to be able to attend these cancer support programs. Thank you, Gilda's Toronto, for all you do. I think that one of the really wonderful aspects and unique elements of the way that our support groups are offered is that all of our support groups are facilitated by mental health professionals. And that facilitator really brings together and removes the barriers that may exist when we're thinking about our own cancer experience and the diagnosis or your particular situation as a caregiver or as the person living with cancer. And that facilitator finds ways to link all of those experiences that you're having and find the commonalities amongst everyone in the group. So while everybody in an advanced cancer, living with cancer group may have a different diagnosis, may have had very different experiences with surgery or chemo, or maybe at a different stage, are still all kinds of shared experiences. And I think that that facilitator is a really key component to bringing that group together and creating that sense of community. Um, Thank you for making this program possible. Caring for someone with cancer changes you in ways you never expected, and it was helpful to know that there are others, that these feelings are shared by others. So I think that's really key, is that validation that you experience in support groups, and just knowing that you're not alone. I think that when you have a cancer diagnosis or you have cancer in the family, oftentimes people don't know how to talk to you. They don't know they don't know what the right thing to say. They don't want to hurt your feelings. They want to be caring, but it's difficult for people. And so I think sometimes you can really feel very alone. And it's incredible what we've heard from people when they come and they enter into this group with others who are experiencing the same things, and you really do have that sense that you're not alone. One of our newer programs is our family camp, and we now are going into our third season offering family camp, where we serve about 90 people who come together for a weekend on an island. And so this is a testimonial from somebody who attended one of our family camp sessions. Gilda's Toronto family camp gave us an opportunity to breathe a little. We got to escape our daily struggles, and it put us in a different headspace. Yet there was so much more to the experience. We were able to be in a space with others who have experienced a loss or are struggling with cancer, to not feel alone, to understand that others are hurting but still living, to get inspired by the strength of others, feeling the support of Gilda staff and volunteers, as well as the camp leaders and staff. The feeling of being taken care of was so nurturing and appreciated. Once again, realizing just how necessary of a resource Gilda's is for us and others. One of the most significant factors being the connections we've made. New friendships were established, and we go out into the world a little less alone. It all adds up to feeling part of the world again. And so I think ultimately, we don't think that you're going to come to Gilda's Toronto and go through all of the interactions and experiences that you have at Gilda's Toronto and continue. We know that you are going to make connections, and how you feel and how you live with cancer and cancer related stress. Hopefully, that stress is going to reduce a little. And eventually, you might feel like you're ready to go back out into the community. You're ready to move on from the services that Gilda's Toronto provides. And so, building those relationships and building that community and having those experiences and gaining a toolkit, if you will, you're going to feel more confident to go back out into the community. And I think that's what these testimonials ultimately express. At Gilda's Toronto, our community is our greatest strength, and we believe that everyone has something valuable to contribute. And today we invite you to join us by making a difference. And I wanted to share how. First of all, what I've been talking about today is really about becoming a member. Um, so when you become a member, you are joining more than 1,200 people who are accessing our more than 880 programs that we provide annually, that support that cancer experience and that cancer related stress. So that's one option, is if you are a caregiver for someone with cancer, or if you yourself have cancer, we invite you to explore our programs and consider becoming a member. You may want to volunteer. Volunteers are the backbone of our organizations, from our board members, to facilitating workshops, to helping at events. There are countless ways for you to get involved. We now have more than 90 volunteers. Pre-pandemic, when we had a physical space, and we had volunteers that were really integrated in all the things that we did, we had over 300 volunteers that supported our organization. And through the pandemic, that changed. And so we're rebuilding our volunteer program and now have about 90 volunteers that help us in many, many different ways and growing. So we welcome you to become a volunteer. You can also partner with us. Collaboration is key to expanding our impact. And whether or not you represent a business, whether you're a healthcare provider or a community group involved in a community group, we're open to partnerships that align with our mission. We really want to help people live while living with cancer, and we want to do that as effectively as we possibly can. We do not want to duplicate services. We want to work within the gaps of services. And certainly there are many different ways that we can be supporting people impacted by cancer. And we want to do that with other members of our community. So partnerships are very, very important to us. So we invite you to explore that with us if you think there's a fit. You can also donate. So in order to maintain our free and accessible programs at Gilda's Toronto, we need to raise over $1 million annually. And we do that without the support of government funding. So you can help sustain these programs by making a donation, participating in one of our fundraising activities, or even creating your own fundraising activity and helping to raise money that way. So there's a lot of ways that you can participate with us. So before I close, I just want to take a moment to thank you for joining us today. Your presence here is really, really important. This is an opportunity for us to, spread the word about what Gilda's Toronto is doing. So if you yourself are not someone who wants to use our services or become a member, maybe there's somebody that you know who does. And so we hope that you'll share what you learned today with those people. Or maybe you want to volunteer or donate, and maybe you'll share that with others too. If you haven't already, learn more about what we do. Check out our website and here are all the links and how you can engage with us. So you can jump online, follow us on Instagram or Facebook. We have incredible resources on YouTube. So definitely check out our YouTube channel. Is a history of education sessions there. There are all kinds of tools that could help you on our YouTube channel so that eventually we continue to build this community, and then together we can ensure that no one faces cancer alone. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I welcome you to ask any questions.